Ladies and gentlemen, this presentation is brought to you by The Greatness Continues LLC. And you are now tuned into The Greatest Conversations, starring Reese Two Times, Shaka the Wise, Sensei J, the Masked Man, Big Z, and your host, D. Jones. Once again, you are tuned into The Greatest Conversations.
Who originally posted Kanye being the richest?
That was me.
No, but like, what article, like, what company, like, posted that?
Probably some TMZ bullshit.
So I originally read that.
So I know Forbes.
It was
every year
somewhere
comes
on
out with like, the richest.
Instagram because Bloomberg had said something about it. I think.
Okay, I think it was Bloomberg actually.
Yeah, and so then it immediately spread. So I probably read it on like Complex or something like that.
Okay.
Why Forbes hopping on dick so fast?
But like Forbes, I think every year they come out with like the richest.
Yeah, because Forbes is the one that usually
I think
handles
this time of year that's when they post
that list.
Yeah.
So I feel like before everyone kind of jumped to conclusions, they're just like, oh, hold on, like we're gonna fact check this real quick, like before everybody's just like let's write this in the history books. Let's actually see like what he's valuing right now, currently.
Yeah, but the fact that he's close, like he's just one deal away, that speaks volumes.
Because I started thinking about it and I was like, he's got Yeezy and all that kind of stuff, and obviously his music and all the production value that he has from anyone he's produced for, or written for, and stuff like that. But I was like, are you kind of surprised that it's him compared to
Jay-Z?
Any other mogul? Yeah, like Jay-Z.
Well, who else could it be other than
or
Jay-Z?
like Dr. Dre, or like...
But Dr. Dre doesn't have any like other avenues.
Or like Pharrell.
And Dr. Dre pays mass child support too. So it's like, bro, you never believe it.
Yeah.
Like the only two people I can think of would be P. Diddy and Jay-Z.
Is Rich like
Puff
that?
Daddy?
Diddy too. I didn't even think
Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
Or
You
Russell
got
Simmons,
Romeo's dad.
Oh, Master P.
Master P, bro.
I forgot.
That's
Master
why-
P put a lot of people.
That's
on.
why I started because I was like, I was like, well, that just came out of nowhere,
There's a lot of OGs.
And then
Yeah.
Forbes was
Forget
like,
about
no.
Master P.
So then I was like, well, who else is in the running then? Like honestly, because
But most of these cats gotta pay child support.
Yeah.
Like
Or they
that's-
just have terrible business
Yeah.
ideas.
plus it just kind of made me think,
Plus, a
I
lot of
was
those
like-
people you're naming, they're like they're pretty quiet. So like Kanye is probably the last one to add the whole group. So like you'd probably hear it from like that.
That's what I was
before you
wondering,
like,
too.
Anybody else?
Because I'm like, up until now, like they haven't really been talking about that shit for a while.
Mhm.
Like out of nowhere, just like in history. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that him.
Well, I mean, 4 weeks now ago, they discredited Madam C.J. Walker. So I mean,
Yeah.
they
Oh
gonna-
no, they took it from her.
Yeah, they took it.
They said it's credit. They took it
from
from
her.
her.
They said it's,
What I wanna know
it's
is-
no longer yours.
They said you're a billionaire back then, but you got to account for
Inflation.
inflation, interest.
They said there was a lot of shit going on.
They
Back
they didn't tax you back then. Oh, we took that back tax. Yeah,
You
ain't
paid
shit.
a lot less in taxes back then. So it's like, I'm like, what the
Yeah.
What I want to know is what does it mean to like own your royalties? Like what's royalties mean?
Means you get paid.
So royalties
Oh yeah.
are basically like the payments that you get each time, like
A song is played?
each time your song is like played or purchased like on CD in the store or spun on the radio, that kind of stuff, used in a movie, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So a lot of artists get fucked by their deals because their management is taking most of their royalties,
Right.
and that's where they get a lot of money from. So that's why a lot of artists actually, even nowadays, make money from touring and selling like merchandise.
Modern day slavery. just like
Or they start their own label.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
just
And
like
that's
Yeah,
why
'cause I know
Jay-Z-
independent seems like the way to go
Yeah,
for a lot of people.
that's why Jay-Z
Yeah.
tried to start Tidal
If
because
you could
most
do
of
it.
these streaming services like they're not making any money, like getting like 35
Yeah,
cents
bro.
or something like that every time a song is purchased.
Yeah, they made
So
the
it's
most
like-
in title
Yeah.
actually.
Tidal makes the most. It's
So
black
he made
owned.
that platform.
And
So,
this nigga Jay-Z just sold that.
Yeah, he did just.
but remember we having because Jarrell was like,
Because he
yeah,
not
let's
getting
get
as much
into
money
it.
as Apple.
You said what?
He not getting as much money as Apple.
What do you mean?
Like since Apple's more popular, more people are like, even though you can put it on both,
Like Apple Music.
Yeah, more people are messing with Apple. There's like
Because that's
some
what I
people
was
had
saying.
stuff on
Like when
Tidal.
he created Tidal, I feel like
But I feel like it could have been more.
he didn't really do enough groundwork to get as much support because only certain artists were really signed on with him, and most of those are the artists that made out with the deal now when he sold it. They all
Bro,
made
that-
bank off that deal.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, because I had Spotify for the longest time. That hurt when they went to Tidal. 'Cause I was like, dude, I can't listen to no Jay-Z.
Bro,
songs.
Tidal is dope. I mean, Tidal was back in the day, but now bro,
it grew, yeah, it definitely
Tidal
grew.
is dope.
grew
They
into
have
something
music
much
videos.
better.
They don't have podcasts, which is
But yeah, for the time, like the concept was perfect. But I feel
Why
like
do you think
that's
he
one of
sold
those
it then?
things where you gotta
Why did
kind
he
of
sold
take
it
time
then?
and like
I think
really,
Jay-Z's more of a business.
you gotta
I know.
really convince
Yeah.
people
I
why
think there's like
this is better because
he
even certain people's labels probably are like,
like
nah,
pro-black,
I don't want you doing,
and Jay-Z's
doing
like,
your own little
yeah,
shit over there.
I
Like,
feel it, but that's not where the money is. Like Jay-Z's, I feel like it's more like money driven. He's not more like
But we had that much money, like
us.
Yeah.
Us driven.
Do you
I
think in the
he's more
long
black
run he
people.
would
Well-
have just got acquired?
You said what?
You think in the long run, like Tidal would have just got acquired?
I mean,
Like
maybe.
if he didn't just like.
I don't think so.
possibly.
But I think
You
he has
think, you
enough
think he would
power.
eventually be
it
like
just
Apple
it
Music?
depends on who would have acquired it because
Like who would have been the main like? Cause you got
it would have had to been if like an artist started their own,
yeah.
But I think
separate
in
their-
that idea, he probably thought about that and just like that's not what I want to do. Like I said, I think Jay-Z's more of like entrepreneur, businessman. So it's
I
like,
feel
I'm
like
just
at
gonna
this
capitalize
point
on
it
it.
hadn't
thinking about
really,
him and his
yeah,
kids,
it
like,
hadn't
what they
grown
gonna
to where
Yeah.
he expected it to be.
Yeah,
but
right.
Tidal's
You
definitely
could've-
one of the big three. Like if you ask people what they're using, they're either using
Yeah.
Apple, Spotify, or Tidal.
I think the thing with Tidal, it's more of like
But what
it's more of a artistic like brand loyalty. Like
His
you went there for a
expectation-
specific reason. Like,
Yeah, his
he went
expectation
there
was-
specifically listening like a
was
certain
hoping
artist.
that it would
No.
get other artists to be like, well, all these
Kanye
other
wasn't even
artists
on
are
Apple
making all
until
their
him and Jay
money
had that little fell out.
from Tidal because
I know.
they're just
He was
getting
on
almost like
Tidal
100%
to
or
support
whatever
Jay.
of their spin profit.
He said fell out.
But not enough people
Yeah, but,
really,
I mean,
crossed
Being
over.
on Tidal just makes sense if you're an artist, though.
It did.
I know.
It made a lot of sense.
That's, yeah,
It
that's
makes
what I'm
sense.
saying.
But all right, this is what I think about the money. Like for me,
But you also got to take their labels into account whether or not they even really had the possibility or opportunity to cross platforms like that. 'Cause-
this is how I look at the deals, right? So, cause you know how everybody's like independent is better, right? But there's pros and cons. So like, if I knew how to maneuver around like the world of music and hip hop and everything, and I'd rather go independent. If I was able to make my money and do what I want to do, make the decisions I want to do, that's cool. But sometimes being independent don't always make you more money. Because even though you're on a label and they take more money, you constantly are making sometimes more money.
You have their connection.
You have
because
their
because of the
resources.
connections and because like more people know you. So I feel like that's the difference sometimes between Apple and Tidal. Like if you look at it, people are getting paid way more on Tidal than they are on Apple. But it's like more people gonna play your stuff on Apple, so you gonna get more money on Apple than
Yeah.
Tidal.
Yeah.
That's why, like with YouTube, people are like, well, it's not worth it because you only
Not
really
worth
get
it for
paid
everybody.
if you get like 1 million views, something like that.
Yeah.
But the reason they're doing that is once they get so many videos where they got 1 million views, YouTube reaches out and is like, hey, we're interested in certifying you. Like now you have access to our studios,
Yeah,
and their YouTube studios are like out in California, like
it's nice.
But if a couple
everything,
artists
everything you
independent-
need. You know what I mean? So like that's like
They
King
take
Vader
no
doing
game.
shit at his house.
You said what?
And then YouTube's like, hey, you can come use our stuff. Now King
And
Vader
really-
doing
and
stuff
really, it's
there,
not YouTube, it's
and it's
Google.
like, yeah,
It's really
and
Google.
it's Google now, yeah. So you got all those resources.
So,
So
but
it's
I mean,
like-
it also goes to. I think it goes to like work ethic. The modern day rapper today, I don't think is as knowledgeable and hungry like that duo as rappers back then. I think a lot of them, they think music only, and then when you start trying to, some of them do try to educate themselves like once they're in the game, but a lot of them just like, I'm just gonna keep dropping they're caught up in like a certain lifestyle where they're just like, I don't need to do that. So they rather get ripped off. Like I was watching a video and this dude was like, you know, the average rapper when they make a mill, when they hit a mill, they think that million is going in their pocket, so they spend it. But they're like, nah, bro. Like your manager and lawyers get a percentage of that, and then you got to pay the record
That's
company.
just advancements, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Those are.
People don't know how that works.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of rappers fall victim to that. So then it's like, well, you got to come up with another album to pay us, you know. And then some people get caught in that void of like, you're uneducated, so you just get taken advantage of. Versus, I feel like Jay-Z, when he made Tidal, he was under the impression that rappers were, I don't want to say he thought they were more educated, but more like hungry as far as like doing their own thing, maneuvering and marketing themselves and doing all that stuff. And some artists were, and that's where they went. But when you're, I guess, like a lazy artist, or you make a hit based off of like dropping 50 just shotgun blasting songs, and somebody's like, yeah, bro, you gotta do all this. You gotta do this, and this by yourself. And then you look at Spotify and all your other options, and you're like, they did for me. It's like, I'm just gonna stay with them then. I mean, I'm gonna get more plays anyway, so why would I, try to do that? So
Yeah.
it's more like an investment. Are you investing in yourself, or are you
I
just...
say, I don't know. I don't think that because that's what the title and them supposed to do. They're supposed to like kind of promote you. So I don't necessarily think like it's like as far back on like the artists promoting themselves because they're on the platform.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, but not a lot of people know about Tidal anyway. Like,
That's not the artist's fault.
yeah, but I'm saying, but if you're an artist, when you promote yourself, you're promoting the brand and everything that you do. So I feel like if let's just say like,
I just feel like it was unpopular.
It was just
but
that's what I'm saying.
I feel like it would have been more popular had popular artists.
How do you think it would have got more popular?
There just
Yeah,
weren't enough
they won't.
independent artists who could draw, I guess, enough of a crowd to pay for a new service specifically to like listen for their albums and stuff like
But
that.
that don't make sense.
When it first got released,
I think a lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people understand like the battle, because Tidal was created. Correct me if I'm wrong, because of the whole battle of royalties, right?
exactly, yeah.
So
So
I think a lot of
Tidal, the
rappers
purpose
don't
of Tidal
understand.
was so artists specifically could come over and make more money from a platform that they were getting paid a higher percentage.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of rappers too. I mean, if you
But
they think
it was
they're
also
good,
the
but
type
not.
of thing where, they probably had to sign some type of deal or contract with Tidal. And once a label gets involved with that, certain labels are probably like, nah.
Yeah. I just think some- I
because,
just think a lot of rappers are
Spotify
good.
and shit is probably paying the labels more
I mean, but
money.
these niggas on Pandora and all that.
You
so
know what
that
I mean?
that really
Like-
makes sense to me.
Even
What?
Pandora, all that shit, like, they're probably paying these labels out more money than Tidal would be. So they're like, nah, you know what I mean? We
Yeah,
ain't
but I mean,
having
if you're a good artist, that shouldn't even be an issue.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think a lot of artists aren't that good. Like they realize.
No,
that
I don't know. I feel like you can still be a good artist.
If you're a good artist, what should
and
be an
like
issue?
not be.
My thing
on
is,
the title.
No,
Because
I mean,
it's a
if you
trend.
have a contract signed and your label says, no, we are not going to let you put your music on Tidal because
should labels be
Yeah,
doing
but you
that?
can. Yeah, but you can wait out your contract as a.
Labels
as a
be
rapper.
doing it?
Yeah.
You can't get more exposure?
Yeah, that's what they did. To,
like if they have
one
a
that got hit
contract,
with
if
the
they have a
diamond, so-
contracted deal with these
Will
other,
work?
Yeah.
companies that are paying.
But he
them
waited
more
out his
money.
contract. He like retired and waited out his contract. That's what I'm saying. Like artists,
Yeah.
I think half of it's an education thing because they feel like they need to put stuff out there because they get caught in that void of maybe
A
owing.
lot of
shit.
times they tell people they can't.
Yeah, but that's
'Cause the purpose-
education though.
yeah.
Like, because if
Like
somebody
they
told
tell-
me
like
I can't
labels
do
tell them
something,
they
I'm
can't.
like, bring me the contract and let's read it again.
Yeah.
You know.
Put out like albums.
Because Tidal was
That's why
supposed
Sahara the Prince never
to
had an
help
album.
artists
Yeah.
make more money
That's
versus
why
their
Tiana Taylor
label.
didn't have an album until recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.